We have like the male condoms, the female condoms. Yeah, it's actually cheap around this
in this
society, yes, but it affects the like having spontaneous sex, it affects the spontaneity of sex.
Welcome to another super fascinating episode of the Healthy Happy Human Show. Today I'm excited, we're reporting live from our studios and we're talking about something that's very pertinent, very important in society today. You can guess, but I'm sure you would never get that correctly. Yes, we're talking about contraception and contraceptives. Yeah. So my name is JTDUSTMAN. They call me Just Man the Microphone Militant, and I'm glad to be here today with this very, very super scintillating, quintessential, and beautiful guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nelly. How are you doing, Dr. Nelly?
Very well, thank you. It's a pleasure being on the Healthy Happy Woman Show.
It's nice to have you here as well.
Thank you.
So, just for some closure, I'm sure Nelly is not your only name. So, I'd like you to introduce yourself to us properly.
I'm Dr. Peace Augustine, but you can call me Dr. Nelly.
Okay, so Dr. Nelly is like the stage name?
Yes.
Or in your career?
Funky name.
Is the theater name?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, today we're talking about contraception and contraceptives. So, I'd like you to give us a very good insight. What is contraception and what is contraceptives?
Okay, thank you very much. So contraception is actually the intentional prevention of conception using various methods, which are actually the contraceptives. So these help to prevent pregnancies as well as plan the number of children and also the spacing of children. So the whole idea of contraception is what is used in family planning.
Interesting. So I'm sure someone who didn't know knows now. So I guess there are types of contraceptives.
Yes.
So you like to give us?
Yes, contraceptive can be divided into two major types, the natural and the artificial. The artificial is also subdivided into the temporary and the permanent. So I'll take you through the natural. Okay. So the natural, we have the first method, which is abstinence, abstaining from sexual intercourse until you're ready.
And that's about the easiest.
Yes, and the cheapest actually.
Interesting.
Yes. So we also have what we call the coitus interruptus, which is also called the withdrawal method. So this is when a man withdraws from the vagina while having sexual intercourse when he wants to ejaculate. So this actually requires a lot of discipline for a man to be able to do this.
It's not that expensive, but it demands discipline. That discipline could be expensive.
I know, right? Okay, yeah. So we also have lactational amenorrhea. This is actually a natural effect of breastfeeding and fertility. So when a lady is breastfeeding, that's exclusive breastfeeding, she actually has this it reduces their opportunities of getting pregnant.
It reduces?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Chances of getting pregnant is minimal. Okay. So yeah, we also have what we call the ovulatory beads. So these beads is basically used to know when a lady is ovulating and when she's on a safe period to go ahead to have sexual intercourse. And then we can also use the calendar method. A lady can look at the calendar and know when she's on her safe period and when she's also ovulating. And also symptoms based. A lady can measure her temperature and some pains that comes with ovulation to know when she is ovulating. Yeah. Then for the artificial methods, we have the temporary and permanent. For the permanent, we have what we call the vasectomy. This is
vasectomy.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, this is majorly for men. This is actually for men.
Is it not what you call
sterility?
Yeah.
Yes.
Taking off.
Yes, tying the tube that connects, that allows the sperm to come out through the urethra with the semen. So when this is done, when a man ejaculates, there will be no sperm in his semen.
Castrating him.
Exactly, but yeah, it's a family method and it is very, very 100% effective. Okay. Yes. We also have the bilateral tube ligation, which is used for women, like tying the tube, the fallopian tubes, and this will allow for fertilization as well as allowing the fertilized egg to move to the uterus for implantation. Yeah, we also have the hysterectomy. That's a surgical removal of the uterus. Yeah, so those are the permanent method. Then when we talk about the temporary method, we have the barrier method. So for the barrier method, we have like the male condoms, the female condoms. Yeah, it's actually cheap around this
in this
society, yes, but it affects the that like having spontaneous sex affects the spontaneity of sex. And yeah, and then we also have combined oral contraceptive pills, which contains the estrogen and the progesterone. So this can be used. It's taken every day for 21 days, and then the 7 days will be allowed for the woman to have like a monthly period. Then we have the progesterone only pills. It contains just the progesterone. Yeah, and we also have the injectables, which is taken just once in 3 months. So that's sufficient to prevent a lady from getting pregnant. Then we have the implants. We have the Implanon, which is 1 rod. We have the Jedel, which is 2 rods, and we have the Implanon, which is 6 rods. So the Implanon can last for 3 years. The Jedel and the no plant can last as long as 5 years. So we also have the newer ones like the patches, contraceptive patches, and vaginal rings. These actually also, they excrete progesterone and estrogens into the bloodstream, thereby inhibiting fertilization, inhibiting implantation, and ovulation as well. It's also thickens the cervical mucus, so in that way the sperm won't be able to swim through. Yes, exactly.
Interesting stuff. A lot of technical work goes in there.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask here, are hormonal contraceptives bad, or are there some disadvantages and advantages?
Yeah, like the saying goes, anything that has advantages also has disadvantages. So they have the benefit and the demerits as well. So it's also, it can be used for other things. It can be used to reduce the risk of fibroids and some cancers, ovarian cancers, endometrial cancer, and cervical cancer. It can be used to manage some forms of obesity, hirsutism, and a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome, when the ovaries makes a lot of eggs and becomes cystic. Yes, and the advantages, the disadvantage is that it can lead to some conditions like hypertension. It can also lead to weight gain, and it also increases the risk of what we call deep venous thrombosis. So, and it can affect a lady's menstrual cycle. It can
alter the whole calendar.
Exactly. Yes, it can change her pattern of menstrual flow. Sometimes in a month she won't be able to see her menstrual period. So yeah.
So we often hear people talk about the pill.
Yeah.
Please, can you bring to our knowledge what this revered pill is?
Okay. So the emergency contraceptive pill, that's Postino 2. It's commonly referred to as the pill. So I also like to bring to us that this has actually been abused in a way, because the repetitive use of this can also reduce the effectiveness of it. It's usually taken within 72 hours after having sexual intercourse, sometimes 5 days. So yeah, we have Postino 1, we have Postino 2. So 1 has the 1 tablet and 2 has the 2 tablets.
That's
yes.
2 doses.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so you've talked about measures of contraception, contraceptives that can be used, and several measures that goes for the men and the ones that goes for the women.
Yeah.
So I want to ask now, who is responsible for contraception? Should it be the man or the woman?
Okay. I personally feel the both should be involved in this 100%.
Oh, really?
Yes, I feel so. Because of recent, I had a patient, he opted to go for vasectomy. And we were all surprised. We're like, what happened? A very young man at that. He was like, he doesn't really want his wife to go through all the side effects or all of the stress of the contraceptive. So he was involved. Like he came in to find out more about the procedure, and he opted to go for it. And there he is. We had to go ahead to do the procedure. Procedure that doesn't take very long, 30 minutes is done. Yes.
It's that simple.
That simple, without complications. It's a permanent form of contraception. And it takes like 3 months for the 100% sterility. So
wow,
it's 100% effective.
So recently we've been hearing about vasectomy. It's been a trending topic. Can you give us more light into how vasectomy works, saying that it's very simple procedure?
Yes, it's a surgical procedure that is done under local anesthesia, and like I said, it takes at most 30 minutes. It doesn't have complications. It's about tying, like getting the tube, the vas deferens. So in that way, the sperm won't be able to flow with the semen when a man ejaculates.
So what is going to flow?
Just the semen, and there will be no sperm.
Oh, there'll be no active.
Yes, no.
Oh, interesting.
For fertilization.
So about male involvement now, what do you think? How do you think we can get a lot more males to get involved in contraceptive processes?
Yes, we can organize outreaches and involve and educate men about this, because the man has to be, like I said, the man has to be involved, you know, to for instance, when we're talking about family planning, the wife has to come with the husband, and then we'll explain to them the different kinds of contraception.
Yeah, but you know, a good percentage of men will opt that the women should.
You know, well, you know, things are changing these
days. What do you
think
can be done or said better to get the men to plug into this? To this permanent, as it is, permanent, that means he's never going to produce active sperm anymore.
Yeah, so that's why.
How do we get a lot more men to be convinced?
Yeah, that's why we're talking about the family planning. Okay. When they've achieved the number of children they want, you know, of course, the man won't want to have children out of wedlock or something like that, unless he has the intention of doing that. Yeah. But if they've both agreed that they don't want to have more kids, so why not? You can go in for the procedure and. Yes, and some men that actually cheat, so
just
they're 100%.
Don't you think it will encourage the men to go and fire on all cylinders? We encourage him to go and fire on all cylinders.
You know, actually, it's still something we have to preach to him about.
Preach religiously, yes. Maybe. All right. So, any last words? It's been an interesting chat with you. So, any last words of wisdom to both the male and female partners about contraception and contraceptives? Okay,
I also like to expatiate on this, that contraceptives and contraception is actually for everyone, even those involved in relationship, I mean before marriage, because this will help to reduce cases like unwanted pregnancies and stuff like that, and it will actually help us in our, you know, in our society now, the kind of economy we see ourselves. You want to bring a child into this world to start suffering, and if you check like the cost of diapers, the cost of baby things are quite expensive. So we have to be prepared physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, and otherwise. So
everybody should plug into it.
Yes.
So we should trash all the myths, spiritual myths about it. People say there's some spiritual connotations.
No, this is medical 100%.
And it's purely safe.
Yes, it's safe.
Thank you very much. It's been a beautiful time on the Healthy Happy Human Show today, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to Dr. Nelly. I couldn't get her government names, but shout out to her. She's done justice talking to us about this. So do well, of course, to stay tuned to the show. Like, comment. Let's know your experience as well in the comment section. Do well to also share, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace out.
Thank you.
Thank you.